Meyrem Almaci, a member of Belgium's ecological Green Party, the Groen Party. And Meyrem, we hear that and it seems stunning. Turkey arrests a Belgian, tells Belgium, we're sending him back, we are suspicious of this man, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. What do you say to that? What are the structural failures here that somehow wasn't acted upon?
Well, one of the things we need to know is this correct? We need to get all the facts straight. So it's very important that in these first days of mourning, just to know how we can prevent these kinds of things of happening, 100% is impossible. But for the future, to be able to give an answer to these threats, we have to know where the system flaws are. And if Turkey sends out this message, we really have to get into it over the boundaries of opposition and majority. I am in the opposition party. It is important that we stand united as a country, that we mourn together, but that we also answer these questions because
well, you mentioned the system. There doesn't seem to be one. There's no database to refer to. What happens if Turkey does make that phone call? It seems nothing. So it's the system that's broken.
Yes, it's really compelling because the Ministry of Justice has told us, well, this information came to the embassy and then it apparently stopped there. So what we are asking for as civilians in the first place is answers to these questions. Where is the system broken? How can we fix it? How can we prevent this from happening? We ask Turkey's support for when any Belgian comes to the boundaries of Syria to send them back. But if they send them back and they have a clear criminal background, as is the case in this particular situation, why doesn't this person get back to Belgium and into prison?
Yeah.
This is a very compelling question and it's very worrying. But we have to keep our heads cool. We have to get all the facts straight. But for us, we want the answers quickly. We want to have this information and transparency quickly.
Belgium is grieving at the moment, and one imagines that grief is eventually going to turn to anger. You're a member of parliament. You represent these people here. Now, when the victims start to be known, there's going to be faces and names put to people who were killed in these horrific attacks, who are local people here. Do you expect that there's going to be a lot of anger at the politicians, at the security system for those failures? That the security systems in the country don't even talk to each other properly?
Well, it's my firm belief that while we are mourning now, that we need to have these answers very quickly. It's also my firm belief that our intelligence services, our security services have been working for over a year in very difficult circumstances. We asked for a budget raise a year ago after the Paris attacks. Up until now, unfortunately, this hasn't been addressed the way it should have been. So these kinds of debates we have to have, because if we cannot answer to these anxieties, these questions that are very logical, at that moment it will turn to anger. And what we need now is unity. What we need now is a strong Belgium that has the solidarity of the world. But if we want to prevent this elsewhere as well, we need our intel services to work, and I think that we need more personnel and more budget to do that.
When you talk about community being united, the community here, by all accounts, is not united when it comes to the Muslims across there, and they're the ones that are feeling disenfranchised. I was talking to somebody earlier who said up until this year, the police who operate in the Muslim areas, in Mulbeck, there were 2 Arabic-speaking police covering that whole area.
Yep.
That's another systemic failure, isn't it?
Yes, that's a very important issue that you're tackling there. Security and prevention are 2 sides of the same coin. Yeah. And we see that there hasn't been enough effort put into prevention. The police speaking the same languages, knowing what is going on in the streets, knowing these youngsters, knowing at the same time that we need to put more effort into education, that we need to put more effort into jobs. They need perspectives. And these issues have been neglected too long. So as I'm saying, it's the same coin, and these 2 sides of this coin have to be thoroughly investigated, thoroughly scrutinized to know what we can do better. But it's very important to build those bridges towards the Muslim communities, towards those youngsters in the streets, to prevent them being bait for radicalists from IS or other radicalists, to make them a real part of this.
So briefly, do you think
community?
This tragedy, this horrible loss of life, is going to be what it takes for the system here to change?
I think overall in the world, we know this happened in a lot of places, in Paris, in London, in Boston, in Istanbul, Ankara, Mali, all over the world. We need to stand united against this kind of horrible aggression that is targeting every single one of us everywhere in the world, and we have to stand united in sharing our intelligence in this country with other intelligence forces elsewhere in the world, and we need to take away the soil on which the radicalization is thriving at this very moment, and we need to do that together.
Meyrem Almaci, thank you so much, appreciated. Member of Parliament with the Green Party here in Belgium, thanks so much.